Do you want stronger arms, but you're not sure of where to start? These simple exercises will build everyday strength safely. Hi, I'm Cathy. I'm a physical therapist, but if it's been a while since you've exercised, please check with your healthcare provider first. So grab a pair of weights and let's get started. So for all of these exercises today, I'm going to do 2 sets of 10. Now you can do them standing or sitting. In my first round, I'll show you standing, and in the second round, I'll show you sitting. So the first one we're going to do is bicep curls. So I have my 4-pound weights. If you have something a little bit heavier or even a little bit lighter, that's okay. Just use what you have, even if it's a soup can. So we're going to start with our arms by our sides, and we're going to rotate up, bending the elbows. As we do this, we want to keep the core muscles engaged, and we also want to make sure that we're breathing. And we're just going to keep on going nice and slow, especially on the way down. We don't want to just let the weights fall down because we want to get that eccentric control, because that will help us build a lot more strength faster. So the next exercise is lateral raises. If 4 pounds are too heavy for you, you can grab a lighter weight, and we're going to make sure that we keep our shoulders just under 90 degrees out to the side. And again, we're going to slowly lower back down. And as always, we want to make sure that we're breathing and using a good amount of control on the way down. The other thing we want to be careful of is we don't want to lock out our knees. We want to keep our knees soft and engage our core muscles while we're doing these. And you just go at the pace that feels comfortable to you. If at any time you feel like you need to rest, get a drink of water, or even have a seat, that's perfectly fine. That's exactly what you want to do. Now, the next exercise is going to be a tricep kickback. What I'm going to do is I'm going to lean on the counter with my inside leg forward and my front knee bent, and I'm just going to lift my arm up to about even with my body and extend my arms back. Again, we want to use a good amount of control on this, especially on the way down, because we'll get that eccentric work, which is really important for building that strength. Now, let's go ahead and switch over to the other side. Again, I've got my hand on the counter. I'm going to put my front leg forward, bend the knee of the leg that's in front, hinge forward from the hips, keep my elbow tucked in, and extend back. And again, we're going nice and slow as we're doing these, making sure that we use a good amount of control and making sure that I keep my chin tucked. We don't want to get that forward head posture as we're bending forward. So the next exercise is a 1-arm row. We're going to go back to the left hand. I'm going to put my inside leg forward, hinge forward from the hips with my knees bent, and I'm just going to lift up the weight just like this. Nice and slow on the eccentric. And we're going to do just about 10 of these. Now, at any time that you feel like you need a break, you just go right ahead. You can pause the video if you need to. Alrighty, so let's switch over to the right. We're going to put the inside leg forward, bending the knee, hinging forward from the hips as we bring up the arm. Some people call this a suitcase lift or a lawnmower pull. You get the idea. We're just pulling back with a good amount of control. And the arm that's on the counter is just there for a little bit of balance. And as I squeeze the shoulder blade up, I can actually feel that working even with the light weight. Now the next exercise, I'm going to put the band between my hands like so, and I'm going to lift up. I'm going to keep my arms like a goalpost and raise my arms up in the air, just like this, keeping my arms parallel to each other. And this is going to work the rotator cuff and the muscles in the back of the shoulders, a little bit in the chest as well. Make sure when you're doing these, you're keeping your knees soft. And if you want, you can even stand with a split stance as you go. And we're just coming up, making sure that I keep those arms parallel to each other. We don't want the elbows to flare out. We want to keep them level. And from the side, it'll look something like this. That completes our first set of exercises. Now we're going to go on and do them in sitting. So we're going to start again with the bicep curls. For these, I like to sit close to the edge of the chair as I start with my arms by my side and just rotate to be palms up, nice and slow as we go. Now, if you find 4 pounds too heavy for you, you can simply use just your arms if you need to. If it's been a while since you've exercised, these might be really challenging. And if you do have any pain as you're going with these, I want you to stop, reassess, and if you can't restart without having a lot of pain, I want you to stop, because none of the exercises that we're doing today should cause any pain at all. Now we're moving on to the lateral raises. Again, I like to sit forward in the chair. You sit how it's most comfortable for you. So I'm just going to go up to about 90 degrees and coming on back down. And you want to come down with a good amount of control. And if it hurts you to have your arms directly out to your sides, what you can do is just angle the arms in a little bit more and make sure that you stay below 90 degrees. And that'll make sure that we don't get any impingement, because if you're doing these above 90 degrees with your palms facing the floor, you could get an impingement. So the other thing that you could do is just do it with palms up, just like that. Is lifting the arm with the hands in the band. Again, I'm keeping my hands parallel to each other like a goalpost and lifting up as high as I can without causing any pain. Just like that. We're lifting it up, coming back down. Make sure you really pull those hands apart and keep the elbows in. We don't want them flaring out. We just need them down just like that, coming up. And I can really feel this in my upper back. And I bet if you give this a try, you can too. Now, you can do this without the band if you don't have a band, but having the band really gives it that extra little push. Now, if you didn't have a band, what you could do is take a hand towel and just pull apart. So I've got it like this. I'm pulling apart and lifting up like this, and that'll give you a very similar result as long as you keep those elbows in. If you find this type of content helpful, please like and subscribe. Now for the tricep kickbacks, I think that it's better that we just do them in standing so that we don't injure our backs. So again, we're going to put our inside leg forward, hinge forward from the hips, hanging onto the counter, and we're just going to kick back just like that, pausing at the top of the motion and going nice and slow on the way back down. When you're doing this, you also want to make sure that you're keeping your chin tucked so that you don't get that forward head posture and end up with a neck problem. And doing your exercises with good form in the first place is the best way to avoid any injuries. Alrighty, now let's go ahead and switch sides. Again, I've got my inside leg forward. I'm hinging forward from the hips. I'm going nice and slow, pausing at the top of the motion. getting those triceps stronger little by little. We don't want to go too fast on these. Now, if you're getting tired, feel free to take a break at any time, because as we get too tired, sometimes our form starts to fail. And that's, again, where we can end up having an injury, and you don't want to do that. This is just simple home exercises. If anything is hurting you at all, you want to stop and reassess the situation. Now, the next one is going to be the pull. So inside leg forward, back straight, lifting up and pausing at the top of the motion. And you don't want to go too fast again. Now, one way you can help remember to breathe when you're doing these is to make sure that you're either counting out loud or even having a conversation like I am with you. And as I go down, if I go nice and slow, I can really feel that eccentric work. Alrighty, last one, we're gonna switch over to the other side. Inside leg forward, back is straight, and we're just starting the lawnmower. We're lifting up a suitcase. Nice and easy here. No need to rush. And that looks pretty good to me. Now, I am not counting because I talk a little bit too much to count, but we'll see if we're close to where we need to be. Fantastic. If you enjoyed this video and need to strengthen your legs, watch this next.